Hi fellow makeup fiends. So right now I thought I'd do a very quick chatty sort of video. It's basically just going to be a little bit of an update about where I've been, because I was starting to get back into making videos. I feel like a lot has gone on since the beginning of the year. I haven't had the best start of the year. Little things like the bath breaking and the George Foreman exploding into a puff of blue smoke, which we use every day. Stupid, I know they're just stupid little things, but things like that just feel like one thing after another has been going wrong. I injured my back, which I was very ill with and still have a few problems with, and that's really wiped out like 3 months of the year for me, really 3.5 months. And I gained a lot of weight while I was ill. I gained 18 pounds while I was ill with my back, because although I wasn't eating any different, and in fact I was eating less in some cases, because I wasn't moving at all, I wasn't doing any exercises, I was barely moving at all, I put the weight on. So yeah, so I'm quite upset about that, but I am working on trying to get that back online. Now I was going to be doing that about 3 weeks ago I started to lose weight again. I lost 10 pounds. I've put a few pounds back on, but mainly because in the last week we've had a situation, well it's been over a week and a half, we've had a situation with one of our dogs. And now if you watch regularly and you've seen our vlogs, you will know that we've got 3 dogs. And somebody has requested to do videos on them, which I definitely want to do and will do at some point. But our oldest dog, Molly, she's a collie cross. She became ill. She had a couple of fits, not this week gone, but the week before. She had a couple of fits that we didn't know what was going on there. And I said, we need to take her to the vet, because she'd had one earlier in the week. And we didn't know whether it was a fit or whether she, you know, sometimes she was out in the grass and whether she'd eaten something or whatever. But when I saw her have the fit on the Friday, I was like, oh, I don't like this. So I rang the vet immediately. I made an appointment for the next day and went to the emergency clinic. So we went to the emergency clinic with her. She was a lot worse the next day. Basically, she could only take a few steps and then she was collapsing, which was very upsetting. I had a very emotional week last week. Totally devastated that she was like that, really upset about it. But she, like I said, we took her to the vet and they said basically she was anemic, and they felt that she had an internal bleed somewhere. So we rushed her over to Newcastle to the animal hospital, and we left her there for the day. They did loads of tests, they did 2 ultrasounds, and they did a lot of tests on her that day. And what they found was they did a full scan of her body, and they said there's a little nodule in her spleen, but it's so small they're not concerned about it because it's quite common. And they said that her kidney, her liver at one end was discoloured, which they felt was probably because she wasn't getting enough blood and oxygen into the liver. So that was something they were not sure about, but you know, they were kind of like, okay, so we're not too worried about that right now because we think it's related to the losing the blood. But they couldn't see anywhere where she was actually losing blood, and they did take some water from her stomach and from other parts of her body, and there was no blood there. So they were quite happy that there was nothing there, so that she wasn't internal bleeding. Hi Harry. So from there they kind of said, right, okay, so what we want to do is put her on some steroids and some other medication that will help her stomach while she's on the steroids, and we'll try and see if we could get her blood count up. So we brought her home, and for the first couple of days she wasn't eating. She just wanted to lie in one place and not move at all. There was no movement from her. She was collapsing. It was horrible. I was just an absolute wreck. But then Tuesday of this week, she started to show a few little signs of improvement, and she was getting her appetite back. And we took her to the vet on the Tuesday night, and they took some blood. And the vets asked us if we think we'd seen any improvement, and we had seen a little bit of improvement. She could jump on the puffy, which is something she couldn't even walk, never mind jump. When the dogs were barking, she always joins in and barks, and she hadn't been, but on Tuesday she did that. She was lying on the puffy with me, and somebody went past the window, and immediately she got up and she was barking. So that was very good news. And yeah, so we're supposed to go back, well, Wednesday, sorry, I'm going ahead. On Wednesday we got the blood results back, and the vet rang me and she said the blood count has gone down another 3.5%, so her red blood count is at 16.5% right now, which is very worrying. And I got very upset and emotional about it, and then I kind of thought, no, wait a minute though, we're seeing an improvement here. And the vet who we'd seen on Tuesday said, as long as you're seeing improvement, then that means something obviously positive is coming from this medication. And what she did say is the blood count would more than likely go down before it went back up. So basically the vet on the phone said, you must bring her in on Monday for a blood test because she's gravely ill, and she was, you know, it just really got to me. But me and Alec have chatted about it. She has improved considerably again over the last couple of days. She walked to the bottom of the street and back. She is tired, but her breathing has improved because she basically was very heavy breathing. She couldn't breathe properly. That's stopped now. She can breathe properly. She wasn't wanting food. She's eaten. She wasn't coming through to the kitchen when we were doing the dog's dinner. We were having to take the food to her and the first instance feed her by mouth, like bit by bit. That's different now. She actually comes to the kitchen, she wants her dinner. She wouldn't eat anything hard like biscuits in her dinner or biscuits when they were offered. She's eaten that now. She's got more colour back in her gums and her tongue. So we're definitely seeing an improvement, and we're really, really fingers crossed that this is on the up for her and that this medication's going to do that. It's been incredibly expensive. I can no longer get a new mattress, but I'd rather have Molly than a mattress. So yeah. It's worth it. So what's going to happen is we're not going to take her this week for the blood test, as the vet was saying, because the other vet who actually saw her in person didn't feel she needed to go back. She said 14 days and gave us 14 days of medication. So we're actually going to take her back when it's 14 days and get her blood test then, because we just can't afford it. It's around £90 a time to have this blood test done, and we love her, but we can't afford to have that done. And the other vet was like, as long as you're seeing an improvement, then, you know, don't worry about hurrying back for the blood test, just continue with this medication. You've got 2 weeks, so continue to the 2-week point. And that's what we're going to do, because if Molly was showing signs that she was going downhill or she wasn't responding and she was gravely ill, I'd be there in a shot. In fact, we'd be there at the emergency out of hours, and we'd pay extra just to do that. So we're quite confident that she's coming up. I didn't want to make any videos because I was very emotional, but I also didn't want to make videos and talk about it because at that time I just felt that we were losing her, and it was just a very emotional time because I was just so devastated that we might lose her. But first, all I could think of was the possibility that she was going to die. I couldn't think of she might improve, this medication might improve things. All I could think of, we're going to lose her. So that kind of, even though they were equal, the losing her just seemed absolutely huge and massive and totally clouded my judgment in every single way. But now that she's shown signs of improvement and there's a little bit of hope, I definitely feel like that has kind of come down now, and I just want to keep everything crossed that we don't lose her and that's not the case. Because basically what it is, what they told us is that it's a rare blood disorder. It's something that dogs just can get. It's something they can get from a bite from a tick as well, from what I've read online, but it's just something that can just develop in a dog of any age, and basically the medication does work in some instances, but it doesn't in some. So, and there's no way that they can say to you, yes, it will work, because there's no way to tell until you try it. So that is where we're at now. So Molly has tablets twice a day. She has a steroid twice a day. And she's drinking a lot and going to the toilet a lot, and yeah, and then the other thing that she has is like something for her stomach. It just helps while she's on the strong steroids, like something to help her digestion and to stop her getting stomach pains and things. So I feel like I've just talked and not breathed there. So I definitely feel like, yeah, I can be a little bit more positive now, and I can come on camera and talk about it, because I was just starting to want to get to do more videos and getting back into it, because it's something that I love doing, and I love meeting new people and talking to people. And I want to say hello to everybody who's subscribed to me recently. Thank you so much for subscribing to me. I do a lot of different videos. It's not all going to be just about dogs. I do all sorts of reviews and tutorials and hauls and beauty boxes and all that kind of stuff. So this is just kind of an update, and I want to thank all my lovely subscribers and friends who have expressed concern and who always comment and who have been with me for such a long time, because it means a lot to me. So that is where I'm at. So yes, I haven't been able to quite diet and exercise the way I want it to be. Basically, because she's been ill, I started my new job last week, so I did that. It's been totally mental these past couple of weeks. I haven't been able to exercise or go out like I've wanted to, or do things that I've wanted to, because I've been very emotional, very upset. I'm an emotional eater, so I have been a bit naughty. I lost 10 pounds, I think I put 5 back on, but I know I can get it off. My heart hasn't been in it, and I can't do that when my heart's not in it, basically. I just felt like, I don't know, it's just kind of been one thing after another, and you kind of go, ah, you know, when am I going to go up over the hill? Instead of just feeling like I'm constantly battling up it, just, you know. Yeah, hi Millie. Oh, here's Millie. You want to say hello? Oh, Millie's, that was Millie, not me. Millie's just popped. There's Millie. When Millie stretches and stands up, you pop, don't you? Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna leave it there, and I will definitely keep you updated. Thank you very much for watching. I'm gonna love you and leave you, and see you all soon. Bye.